Alright, we are going to replace the cord on this Industrial Craftsman Worm-Drive Saw and see if it explodes and catches my shop on fire. First, we're going to have to remove these bolts. There is 6 of them. Some of these were extremely tight, and I had to use a channel lock and break them loose. This is why magnetic bits are so nice, and I should probably be getting myself some of them. A bit fell out repeatedly because I would forget to grab a hold of it before pulling it out of the screw. Sorry about the bad camera angle. I'm fairly new to making these kind of videos, but I would like to include them into my shop videos in between my woodworking projects and other random carvings. Just a couple nights before this, I carved that little spirit guy there. That is carved out of a brick. I seen the piece fall, and I looked inside, and I knew what it was. As you can see, it's quite dirty inside. All the internal wiring wasn't honestly too bad. The parts that I replaced were part of the power cord, and they were a little bit rotted, but the other connecting pieces inside were just fine. They're just dirty. Let's pull out the dead spiders. I'm just inspecting everything right now to make sure that none of them are in bad shape, that they do need to be replaced. I have plenty of cordage laying around if I needed to. This is a short-ass extension cord that I had laying around that I don't ever use because it doesn't have enough length to even reach across my shop. I had to take a break and run out and do a couple errands there. That's the cut in the video. So now we're back at it. Get as much of this cleaned out as I can for right now. I'm not too worried about it being perfect. I was hoping that these would be enough to be able to cut into the orange wire, but they weren't. That should have been able to do it, but it's a cheap tool and was not sharp enough to cut the orange. Use the old X-Acto knife in roll mode. had to do this because I had accidentally cut into the green wire using the wire snips. Strip off the ends to expose the wire. I was looking at that because I thought I had taken off some of the internal wire, but it was just debris. Now to put on the new ring terminals. Crimp them on down. And the next one, a good twist. I like to put the wires through just enough to kind of fold them over to the side a little bit and then crimp it down. And I crimp at the top, middle, and bottom. I know I see a lot of people who only crimp once. I don't know if there's a good or bad to one way or another. Everything seems to be pretty secure and long-lasting with crimping it multiple times, but I have been told that it's completely unneeded. I love my little stubby screwdriver. Lets me be all up close to the work, and it's ratcheting, so that's helpful as well. I don't have a great memory, and so if I don't take a picture beforehand and have it available to be able to look at, I will take one off, put one on, make sure I'm matching color for color, spot for spot. ended up having to cut the orange cord a little bit more. I don't suggest doing it this way. It's a good way to cut your hand open, and I did think about that right as I was doing it, and I've done it before, so I definitely should not have done that as a first thought. But I remembered, mostly. And I had to do this so that it could fit into the handle correctly, because of the green being the ground being farther away from the other two spots. There just wasn't enough room for the cord to fit into the handle and stretch. Like shoving the guts back in after surgery. Yep, that's my special self. Over and over and over again. I was just like, why is this not biting into the other side? I thought I had a cord stuck in the way, maybe. Thought maybe something had shifted inside. I just kept trying to like wedge it in there, and I'm like, but it's going in all the way. And it just took me entirely too long to figure out that it just wasn't there, even though I already knew that it wasn't there. Try a different bolt? Maybe it was a different bolt. No, it wasn't a different bolt. Me thinking maybe I had the ratchet wrong. Nope, just not going into anything. Yeah, I'm special. I don't even know what I was doing there, tapping it. I look, I'm like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's right, it broke off. Alright, get all the side screws tightened down. Mount the handle back to the actual unit itself. Oh, stubby's gonna be too short and fat to fit. I know that life, Stubby. One and the same, buddy. Magnet bits. If he wants to buy me a set of fully magnetized tools, I won't complain. Get rid of that nasty old rotten cord. It's no longer needed. And them old trusty wires, they ain't no longer needed. I was just kind of inspecting in here to make sure that there wasn't anything that was going to get in the way. That bit, the pulley there, was just a little bit bent out, and so I went ahead and tapped it back into place, making sure that the guard there was still fitting into the right spot. Now time to plug her in and see if it blows me up. And it's alive.
I don't blame him. Let him go, Vegas. You're right. Do it, I swear. Tell him what you did or I'll blow your head off.
Now, it wasn't always responding right away when I hit the trigger. So I do think I need to pop open the motor housing and clean up the carbon brushes.